games for so long, we would go to the tailgate, go back to the dorm, because that's like the nice part about living on Evansdale, take a quick nap, and then go back to the game. And still like get to enjoy like most of it. And it wasn't like thick mud like this, it was pretty like watery, you know, like that sticky mud.
I think the main thing Adventure West Virginia has done for me is give me confidence and give me a community. It's given me an outlet and a place where I feel safe and comfortable, and I have met some of the best people I've ever met in my life, some of my closest friends, and kind of that transformation like took me from being, you know, an anxious high schooler coming into college into now a confident professional grad student moving into the professional world after grad school. And Adventure has given me all of the opportunity to grow myself personally and professionally.
Because we have been looking forward to this trip for a long time. Anyways, first of all, I just want to do simple introductions. Give us your name.
The reason why I created it is I had led WVU's first outdoor recreation spring break trips to Moab, Utah. And we did a winter break trip to Big Bend National Park. And I saw the transformative power of getting students out to see these amazing places and travel cross country. And as a West Virginian and growing up here, nobody ever showed me the state. I never really saw Seneca Rocks. I'd been to Blackwater Falls a couple times, and the state has so many outdoor recreational resources. The first program went well. Second program was getting really good, but the third Explore trip that year rained the entire week, which I think that extra adversity getting over. I had never in my life seen a group of strangers come together and mesh so well, and at the end of that week there was not a single dry eye when they were saying goodbye. And I realized then that we were onto something completely magical that was completely transformative for those students.
I always kind of struggled with confidence and confidence in leadership, but once I started leading first year trips, I was leading, you know, groups of 20 people out in the woods, in the field, and I really struggled at first to kind of find the voice to talk to people and to find the voice to be the person that can be there for other people. But through just working with Adventure and taking the class that you take to train to become a leader and learning more about leadership and learning more about group dynamics, I was able to kind of find that leadership voice and become a better leader and be able to become confident and lead groups in a way that I never had before. Although it was a challenging process to get there, now I feel much more confident leading groups and facilitating anything in the outdoors.
You know what that means? Tick check. I'm Aiden Kelly. I'm a first year trip leader. There have been plenty of times where I've been pushed outside my comfort zone. Even before I got this job, like just being a participant on one of our trips, you know, there was stuff that came up and you just gotta roll the punches sometimes. As a leader specifically, I think again, like making that connection between people and like trying to facilitate that, it's definitely a big challenge, especially like at the start of our trips. But like once you're kind of over that hurdle, it's smooth sailing for the most part.
And it's just no captain, my captain. That's it. Because they all stand on the desk.
My name's Cameron Speaker, and I am a first-year trip leader at Adventure West Virginia. In Adventure, you learn about people, and in the classroom, you learn about things like technical skills, your math, your science. But Adventure really gives you that leadership, that learning by doing, the hands-on activity stuff that you don't necessarily get in the classroom. Reflection and feedback is some pretty big things, especially once the trip's over. We always have a meeting talking about what went well, what went not so well, how you felt about it. And I've kind of brought that in to college or to like the academic setting. When I take a test, I look back on how it went, maybe some study strategies that went well, some things that didn't go well. And it's really helped me improve academically and just in everyday life.
Well, one like word phrase that we talk about in Adventure a lot is experiential learning. So when I'm in the classroom, sitting there and listening to a teacher lecture about something that is going on in the world, but I don't actually see it. I'm just hearing about it. With adventure and like learning through being outside, doing those experiences, seeing how they affect people and affect myself, is something that really was so different than learning in the classroom, and I really, really appreciate.
Like any good program in higher ed, it should be tied back to theory. And one of the core theories that drives experiential learning is Kolb's cycle of experiential learning. And that's sort of this idea that you have a concrete experience, you know, whether that's a whitewater rafting trip or a team building activity, or you know, doing something with peers on a problem solving basis. And then you take the moment to like really actually reflect back on what that experience was. Sometimes, as we often do, that concrete experience turns into a reflective opportunity on things that run deeper.
Learning and adventure is really whatever you want it to be. If there's something that you as a student participant or as a student leader want to get out of the experience, you can make it what you want it to be so that you get that out of the experience. Where in a classroom, you know, if you're learning about a topic like geography or math or whatever it is, you're learning about that topic. Adventure brings real life experiences and allows you to grow and develop yourself personally around those experiences.
So the little details, I talked about the love we put into the program. So when we go rock climbing at Cooper's, it's not just about rock climbing. So it is about that experience, but then we talk about what are you going to take from that experience and how are you going to apply it to your life. And then how is rock climbing similar to college? And so who's your belayer? Who's going to help keep you safe? What happens if you slip up? How about setting realistic goals? You don't want to go to the hardest climb, your first climb ever, right? So what are you going to take from that experience? And so as we travel throughout that week, we get more in depth in those discussions and talking points. So we have them do a solo up at Dolly's sides where they're reflecting on, yeah, you're out there for an hour, nobody's allowed to talk till we come back to the circle. And so they're in this space where they never have time. There's no phones going off, there's no worry about being anywhere, they're just in these moments. And so we bring out those deeper meanings from those experiences.
Hotspot, so just to prevent rubbing, stuff like that. Does that make sense to everybody?
I came to WVU from out of state. I have family in West Virginia, but I didn't grow up here. And so coming out of state, I was really uncertain at first and wasn't sure how I would adjust to the culture and how I would fit in with people who were from the state of West Virginia. But adventure has given me the opportunity to explore so many parts of this state and meet so many people from this state and work with so many people from this state. And it has created such a love for this place because inherently the natural beauty of West Virginia is something that is breathtaking and honestly so special. And adventure really gives students the opportunity to not only fall in love with the outdoors and the recreation and the beauty of this state, but also the community that thrives around that natural beauty.
Before I went on my first year trip, I'd only ever been to Morgantown. I was here for one day when I toured the school. And then I briefly stopped for like 2 hours in Harper's Ferry on my way back home because I'm from South Jersey, so I'd never been to West Virginia before touring the campus. So I think a big part of our program, especially with our Explore models, is getting people around the state more familiar with what we offer I've now been to like huge chunks of the eastern half of the state, and it's definitely really cool to like be able to travel and say like, man, I'm going like with a university program to these really cool places across the state that I might not have never known about had I not been either on a trip or leading a trip, and get to experience what the state has to offer.
I am from Morgantown, and in full honesty, I did not want to come here. It was my last choice. It was like settling because it was hometown, but adventure really opened my eyes to not only like the university but the whole state. I had never been down to Spruce Knob. I'd never been to the Canadian Valley, to Thomas, to Davis, and that area is so gorgeous, and I just feel so much more connected to the beauty of the state and what the state has to offer. And now like I got the opportunity to show people from California, from Delaware, from West Virginia who've never seen these things either, and it's just so gorgeous. And Spruce Knob is my happy place now, but adventure really has made me love West Virginia and be happy to have stayed here these last 4 years.
I'd say we have just as much impact on most West Virginians who have not traveled or been whitewater rafting down the New, or been to Dolly Sods, or camping at Seneca Rocks, or been to Spruce Knob. They really see that side of West Virginia. We even go into a little coffee shop up in Thomas and Davis, so they connect with the local culture, learn about these special little places. And then, so in-state perceptions are like, wow, West Virginia is really cool. And then you have these out-of-state students who also many have never traveled. So we're really challenging their stereotypes around West Virginia, and they're discovering their new home. So everybody, the in-state confidence is rising, and then to hear these out-of-state people say how much it means to them to see this beautiful state.
That's super important because a good half of our student body are not West Virginians by residence. And you know, I think there's well-documented research that tells us that when a person feels like they belong to the place that they're living and learning in, that they're going to do better. And so if you come to WVU, say from New Jersey or from New York or Pennsylvania, and you just never really leave campus, you're not going to build an affinity for West Virginia as a state. You're not going to consider West Virginia at all home or in any way sort of like important to you beyond just being the place where your institution happens to be located.
I would say all the work that WVU has done in the outdoor economy space is based off the successes of Adventure West Virginia. So, you know, by showing people, we also showed the institution the value of our outdoor recreational resources, whether that's us taking them out in the air up on top of Seneca Rocks to do a photo shoot, ended up being a national commercial, to us just showing people what West Virginia has. And then through that, we've been able to link with faculty and staff to capture our outdoor recreational resources.
Yo, that's 17 thing. You can stick your foot in that. You can go a little bit more to the right.
Adventure is the reason why so many people on campus have their first friends. It's the reason why so many people choose to come and work for Adventure and be a part of this, because the community that Adventure builds, whether it be on a first-year trip, whether it be on a guided trip, whether it be during a Welcome Week program, is something like no other place on campus is doing. The bonds that you're able to create through being in the outdoors is really fantastic, and I think a big piece of that is just that everyone here at Adventure just loves what they're doing and loves what they do, and it gives us the ability to feel connected to each other and to bring students into this like beautiful loving community and allow them to also feel connected, to make friends, to feel safe, to have a place to hang out. And I think that there's not a lot of other places on campus that do it in the same volume that we do. And just having the opportunity to go out, try something new that you've never done before with friends or making new friends is a really unique piece that just really allows people to connect and make friendships.
Intentionally with Adventure West Virginia, our goal is not to walk 10 miles a day, so you really push yourself to your physical limits. The goal is to hike 4 or 5 miles so you can have a meaningful discussion. If you want to have a new group of friends different than your friends from high school, in a caring environment where you do things you've never done before, and it's fully subsidized. You know, this $500-600 trip is $95 or free if you're Pell eligible. Why wouldn't you do this? Plus you get academic credit. And what's interesting is that as students are more at risk, the greater impact it has on their actual graduation rates. So, you know, if you are a low-income student and you do this program, you're 16% more likely to graduate college. And you want every advantage you can to be successful in school, and Adventure West Virginia will give that to you.
Adventure does a really great job of doing intro-level outdoor recreation activities so that students who are interested in the outdoors but maybe have never done it before have a really safe space to come and try something. And having just that outlet where you can be a beginner, you can be someone who's never done anything outside before, but being able to come to Adventure, get exposed to something new in outdoor recreation is a way that Adventure is kind of like showcasing this state. And it's getting people excited about doing outdoor recreation activities at an intro level. And then from there, if people, you know, come out and try hiking or try mountain biking or something, and they really like it, they can move up in that ladder, and that's how you build a community of recreationists who love outdoor recreation and who are passionate about it. And that's something that I think the state of West Virginia needs, and it's something that Adventure is giving to the state and also giving to the campus community.